Hi everyone, I'm Shakina here again with another message from the Guardians of the Light. I'm excited to be with you in all my bald glory. Welcome to the new look of the channel. Here to be a little more transparent, a little more direct, and hopefully a little more consistent. We'll see how it goes. As always, please like and subscribe if you want to stay in touch with me or the Guardians of the Light. And yeah, I'm really excited for this message today. They have been on my case about it, and here we go. Let me just take a minute to tune in. We are the Guardians of the Light, and we are pleased to connect with you. As always, we give our gratitude to our vehicle, Shakina, for taking the courage to show up in this way through us and for us. It is with great pleasure that we bring forward this message today that we know has been one of deep resonance on her heart and in the hearts of many in this community. We wish today to speak about the sacred role of transgender people on your planet. We understand that this is a topic that is very sensitive for those people who identify as trans and for a lot of people who have feelings about trans people, whether or not they know them or identify with them. It seems like the position of the transgender human in this moment in time is divisive, when in fact the position ought to be thought of as revolutionary leadership. We say this because trans people represent the ability for every human soul to transpass limitations of the binary and express the ability to co-create with the creator and self-create with the autonomous self. You can see why this would be a troubling position for those who intend to keep systems of control in place through hierarchy and through binary opposition. Transgender people then may represent a danger to the status quo, a proof of fallibility of boundaries and borders that were once taken to be sacrosanct. This is why we say that trans people are sacred rebels, because what they are pushing against is a boundary that has kept human beings divided into an either or, when in fact human beings are a both and. Now we recognize that some transgender people on your planet occupy an either or place or a both and place. And this is not an individual case by case study that we are bringing forward. What we wish to bring forward is that transgender people as a whole, as an aspect of humanity, demonstrate the porous nature of boundaries assigned to your bodies. And this is destabilizing because your world as you know it is comprised of boundaries and borders which have been socially constructed and engineered to keep you separate from one another and ultimately to keep you separate from your true selves. And transgender people, through their quest to self-actualize, demonstrate the risk and reward of taking on that endeavor, and by proving that it's possible to reunite the masculine and the feminine and to cross the border of gender that was once thought to be impenetrable, demonstrates that systems that were relied on at one point for a kind of social stability, whether or not they were oppressive, when in fact they were oppressive, those systems can no longer be relied upon. And trans people are heralding in a new era in which self-determination is the rule and border crossing is the norm. So we can see again why this would create a sense of destabilization and fear. We want to caution folks in the community, in the particular the starseed spiritual channeling new age community, against adopting attitudes of binary oppression when it comes to considering the role of gender and the body. Too often we have seen folks who are aspiring toward a sort of liberation theology or liberation spirituality continue to reconstruct systems that create an either or scenario, a us and them scenario, a right and wrong scenario. And we are here to tell you that those binary ways of thinking do not serve your planet at this time. The first thing you can do to support the dismantling of archaic power structures is to unleash those forces from your body, to unshackle yourselves from the binary systems that have defined your reality. And this is really shocking to the system because the system internally and externally has relied on binary as a primary structure of organization. So, in order to transpass that binary, that boundary, you have to begin to see things internally and externally through a lens of all as one. And this can be really challenging in this particular moment when you are presented with as much virulent darkness as righteous light. And when you consider that the light and the darkness are all part of the Creator, it means that you have to accept with an A, accept the darkness. It doesn't mean you have to co-sign or consent to the darkness, but you must understand that it is an expression of the Creator. And this was the compromise that we had undertaken on this Earth planet, was to sort of give license to the fullest expression of light and dark. And now we are entering an era when even the darkness will grow consciousness, and that consciousness will no longer permit itself to exist at that level of darkness and must necessitate itself to transmute back to the light. That is the nature of consciousness. That is what consciousness does. It brings light. So for thousands of years, you have been living in a binary reality that relies on male and female and darkness and light. And now that system is coming apart at the seams. And trans people are receiving an untoward amount of degradation from those who wish to maintain a boundary against consciousness, from those who wish to maintain power through darkness. If you are here to bring consciousness to the light, then you must take it upon yourself to infuse all things with said consciousness and direct all things toward said light. This does not mean that you have to change your body. This does not mean that you have to change your mind. It only means that you need to practice an allowance. Practice an allowance of all that is as an expression of the divine. From the darkness to the light. From the darkness to the light. All that is an expression of the divine. When you see something, when you encounter something that troubles you, that causes you fear or anger or pain, see it through the light. We invite you to imagine a set of goggles or binoculars over your eyes that give you an additional lens of divinity. And while your human mind might be scrambling to understand, you can simply place these lenses over your eyes and say, I see all things as part of the divine. I see all things as one with the divine. And when you do that, you disempower the thought story that starts to shape your reality through a categorization of good or bad. It's very painful at first to disrupt this categorical system because your entire foundation was based upon it. But it is essential for the victory of the light that you begin now to see all things as one and own your capacity to contain all of these things. Every external darkness and every external light is in your energetic capacity. And if you wish to be a part of transmuting that darkness into the light, the first step is allowing it to exist so that it can transform. Not giving it permission or consent, not co-signing, simply acknowledging its existence allows for transformation. We are speaking now of things greater than transgender identity. We are in fact speaking of the true atrocities on your planet. The liberation of gender is not an atrocity, though those who would seek to continue perpetrating their atrocities would like to distract you by creating a crash test dummy out of the trans community. However, and also a lot of crash test dummies are in play here at this time. And you can see this in the ways that folks are being treated because of their skin color, because of their nationality, because of the land they occupy, because of the religion that they practice. We remind you, all are one with the Creator. If someone is seeking to create a subdivision, they are not working on behalf of the Creator. If someone is seeking to create a hierarchy, they are not working in collaboration with the guardians of the light. It is that simple. They are still one with us. They are still part of the Creator. But the project that they are initiating is not a project that is intending to bring consciousness into the darkness to return it to the light. And at this point in time, we strongly suggest that that be your primary, if not only, objective. And you can engage in this objective by allowing it to take precedence in all that you do. It doesn't matter what your job is, what your hobbies are, what your side hustle is. All of these things can be layered with that lens of seeing all as one and bringing consciousness into the darkness to return it to the light. This is the message we leave you with today. We look forward to going further into it in future messages. Whew. Wow, that was a lot, and I know that I have been waiting to say some of that through this body and through this mouth, but feeling the vibration of the guardians at my back was very empowering and I hope clarifying. I really want to send my love out to my trans siblings who have been made to feel unwelcome in spiritual spaces. I have seen star seeds who I really respect speak very unkindly about trans people. And look, I love you all as siblings, and I hope that we can bring consciousness into the darkness and return it all to the light. So I remain your humble sacred rebel, and I look forward to connecting with you again. Take care.